spot, this week. Letting y'all know.
We're streaming.
Yeah. All these times.
If that doesn't work, take out the note and see if that works.
I've seen those.
Yeah, I think even
I talked to him, so yeah,
Okay.
you just did it.
Yeah, I got it.
Reread it, whole thing.
Shut up.
Maybe take out actually, should parents be born or their ants?
First week in house. They went on my blow up dolls. Christmas blow up.
Yeah, Christmas.
They're in the yard.
Oh, we got time.
Like something we
Oh, yeah.
already held or be.
Must be. Other people, not too bad. All right.
Okay. Okay, then let's just remove that.
Cause that's what we're showing.
That'll work.
You know what I mean? So people know that we're live.
That too, yeah, you can't do that. Yep. Yeah, 11. Thanks for that.
Just saying.
Once a month I get, chicken no wing. But that's only once. I try to cut down
I'll just try this next.
I try to cut down pasta, so. Nobody can miss a wing. Nobody can miss a wing.
I wanna make sure it's not the moment.
Hold on for a sec, hold on for a sec, hold on for a sec.
Check. Can you see it? The lights? 1, 2, 3.
I see the top one, but yeah, so that should be your, where's your jack for your, headphones? Hold on for a sec. I can't see it, so. Hey, wait. Here it is. Got it. All right, going up there.
I just wanna make sure.
Good evening. Is everybody good to go?
Good.
All right.
You good. It's kinda hot, but you know, it's hot slow, so this is good. Excuse me. Right here it is. Here we go.
I think the shooting of our dog Bumi last week just raised a lot of concerns and questions in the community. I know I've gotten a lot of calls that how could a 13-year-old be out at that time of night? Where was the parents? Just, you know, and the month of December was terrible when it came to young people with guns, breaking the law, shooting at us, killing our dog. And I think I stand up here and talk about all the time how a gun's going to get you one or two places, a cemetery or in prison. And the month of December with young people just showed that. And we just got too many young people out here that are just running the streets at all time of night, going into cars, stealing cars, getting in chases, just continuously breaking the law. And the question I get asked a lot is, where's the parents? Why didn't the parents know that their child was out at this time of night? You know, how did they not know, or did they just not care? And unfortunately, what I guess that we've seen too much is that we just have some who just don't care. And if they're not going to hold their kids accountable and young people accountable, then we're going to hold these parents accountable. And that's what we started. And we're going to do. We started yesterday. This is the 13-year-old's mom. She was arrested yesterday. We did a search warrant where she lives, but we charged her accessory after the fact of a felony. And the felony is what her son has already pled guilty to, and that is being in the stolen car, having a gun, and shooting our police dog. He's already pled guilty to that. But what we also found was surveillance pictures of her picking him up about 3 o'clock in that area as he was hiding from us. He contacts her, she comes over, picks him up, and takes him home. And when we searched the home that day when we arrested him, we find his shoes in the attic, where they're hidden in the attic, and his clothes in the washing machine. She needs to be held accountable for not knowing where her 13-year-old was, and then also be held accountable for going and picking him up. Now, I know all parents love their kids. That's understandable. I got kids, I love them too. And if they're in trouble and they call you to come pick them up, go pick them up. Then bring them to the sheriff's department. Because if you take them home and you condone what they're doing, then they're going to continue to do it. And then you're either going to see them in the cemetery buried, or you're going to find out that they're in prison the rest of your life. This is an example of what we're going to be doing from now on. As we have these young people who are caught out here at night and breaking into cars, stealing cars, guns, etc., we're going to do a further investigation on what does the parents know. And if the parents say, I don't care, I can't control them, then we're going to hold these parents accountable. And there's two ways we're going to hold them accountable. We're going to hold them accountable with criminal charges. There's various criminal charges we can charge them on: unlawful conduct, attributing to the delinquency of a minor, obstruction, misprision, accessory after the fact. But there's also something else we can do that just has not ever been done, to my knowledge. We can also hold them civilly responsible. We can sue them for up to $5,000 if their child is out here and does damages or kills a dog. That's well over $5,000, but we can sue them. And next week, we're going to file a lawsuit in Lexington County against this mom. And not only is she going to face the criminal charges, she's going to face the civil, hopefully the civil liability also. The community's sick of it. I'm sick of it. We're all sick of it. You know, if the parents are not going to hold their kids accountable, then we're going to hold them accountable. And so we're going to go after these parents. We already have another parent that we're investigating right now that we anticipate in the next few days that we're going to lock up for basically the same thing. Her child out here committing crimes and her assisting and being part of it. No longer that we're just going to overlook that and say, okay, well, you know, parents can't control it. They need to be held accountable. You know, the community is ready for this, I believe. You know, and we got so many good parents out here that know where their child is all the time, but we've got a few that just don't care. School starts next week, next Monday. Shouldn't be any 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old young person is considered a juvenile out here at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They need to be in bed getting ready to go to school the next day. And if that parent doesn't know that and doesn't care and allows them to go out, then that parent's going to be held responsible for it. Enough's enough. We're all fed up with it. I'm fed up having to stand up here and talk about young people with guns breaking the law. The community's fed up with it. So the Sheriff's Department's going to do all that we can. And we have lots of programs. There's parent support groups. There's programs for young people to keep them on the right path. But you got to have a parent that gets that child in these programs. You got to have a parent that cares enough to get them involved. There's help out there. So this thing, you know, this excuse, well, there's nothing I can do, there's nobody going to help me. That's an excuse. There's plenty of help out there if you want it. And if you don't want it, you don't go get it, then you're going to be held accountable for it. I saw something a couple of days ago, I think kind of really says it right there. Now, discipline your child at 5 will show at 15. It won't be funny then. Be a parent, not a friend. You're a parent. You're not the child's best friend, you're a parent. And as a parent, you're responsible for that young person, and you're going to be held responsible for them. Questions?
Sure. We're gonna have some parents say, hey, I'm just really busy, I have multiple jobs, I don't have the money to deal with my kid, it's causing me trouble. Any message to those parents who feel like they're overwhelmed?
You should have thought about that before you had that child. You know, having a child is a big responsibility, and that's a conscious decision that you make. And yeah, some parents have to work 2 and 3 jobs, but you also, the first priority needs to be where that child's at, what that child's involved in. If you're making money with all these jobs to support your child, but if you're not there as a parent, then you're not doing what you need to do as a parent.
And you've spoken about, too, about teenagers that deserve a second chance and teenagers that don't. After shooting a police dog, do these teenagers deserve a second chance?
No, ain't no way. Second chance is when you stumble and fall and make a minor mistake. It ain't when you pull a gun out or even have a gun. That's zero tolerance for that. That is a grown-up decision that somebody's made, that you know that gun's a killing machine. That gun is not going to do anything but get you in trouble. And I stand up here all the time and talk about that. We just buried 2 15-year-olds in the month of December that were both shot in separate instances by 14-year-olds. That shouldn't happen.
Sheriff, do you know if any jail time will be faced, or how steep the penalties could be for this?
I don't know. That's beyond my control. What I can control is going out and locking them up now, and hopefully sending a message that enough's enough with this. So that's left up to the court system and the judges. But I think everybody's sick of this. Everybody's sick of this. They're sick of kids killing kids, sick of kids going out here and stealing cars, sick of kids going into cars at night. People are sick of it. That's not what Richland County should be about.
And do you plan to be at those court hearings?
Probably be there. That's a good place for me to be. This is serious enough for us to look at alternative means to do something. Now, we've done all the stuff with the programs. I've talked about it. We've talked about it. And so now we're looking at something different. And to my knowledge, this has never been done before. This is a rarity that any law enforcement agency is going to hold parents accountable for the kids. You know, legislators have talked about it, and they haven't come up with a law. There's already existing laws. We're going to use what's existing. This civil liability, that's been on the books for quite some time. It's never been used. We're going to use it. And it's not about getting money. It's about holding people accountable. That's the kids and the parents.
From your perspective, Sheriff, you know, it's never been done before, to your knowledge. Why? You know, in previous instances where we've had these kind of situations happen before.
Because parents come up with excuses. I can't control my child, and I think we all feel sorry for them. And I think now we're tired of feeling sorry for them. You're a parent. Being a parent's a hard job, but that's a job that you decided that you wanted when you had that child, when you fathered that child, or when your mother had that child. That's a decision that you made. So that child should be your first priority for everything. So yeah, it's time to do something different.
Sheriff, do you know off the top of your head the number of criminal incidents involving minors, whether it's just in the month of December or in the last year?
No, I don't have that, but we can get that. I just know the month of December was terrible. 2 15-year-olds that were shot by 2 14-year-olds. We had another, I think, a 17-year-old that got shot. We had 2 15-year-olds that stole a car and were shot at deputies. We have 3 young people involved in shooting our dog after stealing a car. I mean, that's a handful right there, just off the top of my head, and there's more than that.
So just a question here for purposes of clarity. This is the mother of the 13-year-old that we just saw on the screen here. One question. Second question, was this kind of her operating in a getaway car capacity, or was this later in the morning when she grabbed her?
This is the mother of the 13-year-old, and this is the getaway driver. Before we were able to put up a perimeter that kept him out of it, she was able to get over there very quickly and pick him up. Knew that he was hiding from the police, and she took him to safety away from us. It didn't work because we found him. But yes, that's what she did.
you know around what time she was able to?
3 a.m.
Okay.
And are you at liberty to speak about what led up to suspicion of the mother?
Just information that we got, investigation, surveillance. We looked at surveillance cameras in that area. Was able to see exactly what she did.
Not that these teenagers have any sanctity for rules or life, but has there ever been a curfew to keep kids out past midnight in the city or county?
Not in Richland County. Never been a curfew. Again, that's a parent's job. That's what a parent should be doing. We shouldn't be having to do that. You shouldn't have to have a law that during a school night that you don't have kids out at 13 years old at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's a parent's job. That's not a law job. All right. Thank y'all.